Hey everybody, welcome back to the Forever Game Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler, along with Jamie, and in this episode we talk about 5 ideas for content that you can use on social media given this current COVID-19 environment. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome everyone back to another episode of the Forever Game Podcast, and I am in my basement now. I've since switched my table around so that you can no longer see the disaster that is my kids' basement and their little half-naked bodies running around at our house. And Jamie's at the brewery again because, well, it is an essential business, especially during this time.
Couldn't be more essential.
Right. So today, go ahead.
I came up with today's topic.
Yes, you
so
did.
I get to introduce it, right? Mm-hmm. So today's podcast is 5 content marketing DIY. I wanted it to be DIY. Like anybody can do these things. Content marketing ideas for your business. 5 of them. Although we may have come up with a few bonus ones. Content for COVID.
Content for COVID. 5 ideas. Content ideas. So before we start, before Jamie gets into number 1, just a framework to think about is that what is your goal based on the business that you're running or whatever goal you have, whether it's running for mayor or keeping your business alive or whatever it is that you're using social media for. You could be in survival mode, or you could be in kind of side hustle. The side hustle shut down. You don't necessarily need it to live, but you want to keep the momentum going, right? And like keep it growing a little bit. We talked to Tony, that episode came out on Monday this week. Talked to Tony Cook of the salon, Rejuvenate Salon and Spa in New London. And she's very much in like survival mode. She's had to adjust her business model to strictly retail, and she can still do off-site stuff. So kind of decide what you're up to.
Here's the deal, Tyler. I think everybody's goal, regardless of what's happening, I mean, they can have multiple goals, obviously, but everybody should have a shared goal of staying connected with their customers or their employees right now. I think that's the one thing that whenever this does move on and we're able to get back to normal, you want to have those people and those relationships, and this is the time to do it. There are creative ways you can get connected and stay connected with your customers. So I think that's a shared goal everybody can have.
And I think you and I leaned toward building brand. We like that more, and we think it's more of a long-term solution, right?
Yes.
And I think right now is the biggest opportunity because humans are so much more like, they're slowed down and more reflective. People are like taking inventory of their lives and like what's important. People are in that like open emotional state more so now than they have been maybe when things were fast and furious and they got their Starbucks latte and then they were off to work. Does that make sense?
For sure. Yeah.
So
and they kind of want the connection too. Like they're secretly, maybe not so secretly, starving for that connection.
Right. So good opportunity to build brand and relationships. So tip number 1, James.
Number 1, this is an easy thing that everybody can certainly do. Doesn't require any skills other than being nice. Is saying thank you. Whether it's saying it through video, saying it through a written letter in the mail. Hello, I can't remember the last time I mailed something, but you can still do that.
You're talking about reaching out by physical letter, sending a personalized video message like over Facebook Messenger or text message or whatever platform, email that you use, or just like an email or a written note, digital.
Saying thank you to your customers for being with you through this, or just thanking them for their business in the past, whatever it might be. I think there's like really, that's the golden rule, is to be kind, and this is easy way to show kindness.
And to be authentic, to not send one thank you generally out to everybody, right?
For sure. Yes. Because I think the trick with this one is you have to personalize it in some way.
Because the reality is regardless of what business you're in, unless you're in the business of making masks or other things that have spiked because of this, probably your business is slowing down. Probably you're like, what do I do now? I was used to working so hard and always having these things to do. I can't sell my stuff as quickly or do whatever. Now what do I do? It's time to invest in the relationships with your customers. Mm-hmm. That will lead to more business later. And you can still be as busy, but it's not going to be the transactional busy. It's more the relationship brand building busy. And you can do the things that previously were not scalable because of your time. Now you have a little more scalable time to do it. Gosh, there's so many good looking men just like walking by.
They do. It's so distracting.
I know. I'm sure just like the musk and the beer and all that smell mixed together, it's intoxicating on many levels. Yeah. So sending a personalized note. Number 2, James, a favorite campaign you have?
Holy moly. Is it really loud in my background? Because there's a lot of cans being clinking. Okay.
No.
So number 2 is this whole, what I call not canceled idea, not canceled campaign, where we can take a minute to stop and appreciate the things that are still able to be done in our everyday life. Like, for example, I went out hiking the other weekend and there were these stupid little signs along the trail that said hiking club, which then I felt like I belonged to a new club, which was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. People want to feel like they belong to something in this weird time. So asking your customers or asking your team members what they're still participating in. Tyler was calling it the still open. What's still open and what are you still doing? And it could be something like an activity, or it could just be, waving at somebody from across the street.
Right. And the goal is to share positivity, and you can share that restaurant that's still open. Again, spread out the work between you and your team to come up with ideas and then execute on them in kind of a plan. Once a week, you could do those, or depending on number of ideas you have, just take a picture. Or you could gosh, she's just so jacked.
No, I was laughing at the shelf.
Right, that shelf. Oh, it lived a good life. It really did. But spreading it out throughout your team, and I think you could share it with your clients as well. You could kind of do like a user-generated content version of, let's celebrate what's still open. What's your favorite place to get takeout food? What's your favorite place to do outdoor activities? What's the coolest trail photo you can send us from your hikes? You could do a lot of user-generated content from that. All right. Number 3 is supposed to be my turn, so I better pull up the list.
Yep.
I didn't write it down. So, no. Here we go.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Tips.
Somewhere.
So ideas for content. And the first one that you could do that could be related should be related to your business or industry in some way is keeping in mind what your customers are doing, the reality they're living in right now, which most of them are at their house. Tips for helping them in the area that you would have helped them through your normal business. So how could you help them now? And it could be tips related to how to best use certain products, how to hack your way through looking better on a Zoom call if you're like a spa. It could
how
be
to make a cocktail at home, like a really good cocktail of some sort.
Amen. One like for a chiropractor or a doctor could be like how to avoid the hunch over from looking at your computer to maintain good posture through all of this.
I was going to say like a morning routine type of.
Yep.
How to stay productive while working from home and sharing. It could be like any industry, but sharing what they're doing, what's working.
Yep. All of those. And if you need ideas for those because you're too close to your business, I think there are 2 things you can do. If you're shy, you can ask your best friends or your top customers that you're close with to say, hey, I'm thinking about putting out like some tips and some content to help people through this because I really want to help people and keep my business in their minds. And your best customers, your best friends will understand that. And then they'll throw a bunch of ideas at you.
Yeah.
And you could send it out to 10 people and ask for 2 ideas each. Then you've got 20 ideas. There might be some overlap. You got 15. And then you go and make that stuff.
Are they making it in video form, Tyler?
Whatever form you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to clarify.
Video's like my favorite one.
Video, written, audio,
Photos.
photos.
Photo version. Photo and caption could be written. But yeah, and then if you're not shy, if you're a little more out there and you've on social media, you could ask your followers, like have a post. Hey, I really want to help you maintain this, this, and this.
What do you want to know? What do you want to learn?
All of your questions. Yep. All of your questions related to any of that. And then I'll make content answering them.
Value add content. Our favorite.
Yep. That's right.
Okay. Was that number 3?
That was number 3. Number 4 was story time. And Jamie and I both wrote this down separately when we were brainstorming this.
That's because it stems right from our buddy Gary.
That's right. Story time. And I had a couple of practical ideas for this, and then you can chime in too.
Mm-hmm.
You could, if you're not sure what stories to tell, you could, and again, this is whatever format we talked about before, video, audio, written, photo with caption, whatever. Write out your business story, and you could just put bullet points of the different, like where you were before you even had the idea, how you got the idea, when you finally decided to go for it, struggles that you had along the way, like document it all the way up to this point, and make little micro pieces like that. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. You might end up with 15 chapters, and it might only be 2 minutes of talking or 3 paragraphs of writing each time. But people will get into that. People like a series, something to follow.
Consistent series, content series. Yeah.
Yep. And I like that one. And then another one I liked was reaching out to your team if you work with other people or if you have employees or whatever. Or even just pulling together people from different industries that want to work with you. Make a list of funny stories with your employees, like reach out to your employees and your team. What are some funny things that have happened? And let's compile all those stories, and then let's just jump on a Zoom call, record it just like we're doing now. And let's just start telling those stories over a cocktail or a coffee and just laugh and have fun and let people see your personality and talk about those. Those are kind of 2 of my favorite ones.
Those are all branding pieces. I feel like anytime you get into, branding content, you get to really build that emotional connection with your customers, and they get to see you for who you really are versus the role that you play within your organization or the motive you might have for selling something. I think that content will outperform anything else you're thinking about putting out there. People love stories.
And you can reuse this stuff. When you make it, it exists and you have it and you publish it, it's there. You can go back and share it again later. It's out there. Number 5, and I don't remember what number 5 was. Oh yeah.
Oh, user-generated content. Duh.
User-generated content. So an easy way to hack through user-generated content is to have a picture challenge to say, hey, we're giving away this. Maybe it's a $10 to $30 item or basket or gift card or something like that. And we're looking for your best vacation pick or your best hairdo pick or your worst hairdo pick. Maybe it's one of those, if you're a salon or you're, it could be even related. Go ahead.
Could be entirely unrelated to your business. It's just something that is applicable for the time that we're in. I was thinking a lot of people have been reading books, like myself, new books. What's the best book you're reading right now or have currently read, and why? Send us a picture. We want some ideas to share around for Goodreads. Yep. That was one. Or you've been your new coworker, which could be your pet. Share your new coworker pics. Because pets really do nicely on the interwebs.
And it could be what's your favorite quarantine emotional purchase? You're scrolling online and you're
impulse buy.
Yeah, impulse buy. What's your quarantine impulse buy? Send us a photo of that. And I am more a fan of asking people to post separately and tag you than I am like this, comment, share this. I would prefer if my customers or our clients would make a post independent of us and tag us. I like that better.
Yep.
So those are the top 5, but we have a couple of things just to keep in mind that are good practice anyway, but are more important now than ever.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Bonus tips.
yeah, bonus tips. James, go ahead with number one.
I'll do the first one. So this requires not really creating any content, but going out and engaging with your customers. So find them online, whatever platforms, they primarily spend their time on. Maybe it's Facebook. So go think of the top 10 customers you have, go to their profile, see what they're posting, and just comment on it. A genuine, authentic, nice, whatever it might be. Hey, that's a cool photo, or great idea. I didn't even think about doing that, during quarantine. Well, whatever it might be, go out and engage with them and build that rapport and show them that you care and are still like, you have them in your mind. So I think that's a simple way that everybody can take 10 minutes and do that whenever they have the 10 minutes of time.
It's doing things that are not scalable normally that now you might have some time to do. You might not like it. It might be uncomfortable at first, but it's like being the person in the bar that walks up and they're like, hey, can I get you a drink? Like starting the relationship yourself versus, and I think this tip, what you just mentioned, is the number one thing for people that want to build an audience. You've always wanted to build your audience, but you've been so busy running your business, which is great. Well, maybe that slowed a little bit. You can still work on building the potential for your business later by building a larger following. And the single biggest way that we've seen too, when we do it well, and we go through periods of doing it well and periods of not, is actually going under the account of your business and then scrolling and following people that fit your demo and actually writing something about their post, writing something engaging or you not just love this, but hey, I really like this and this and this about this, like about your post.
Yeah.
We've seen the most follower numbers increase when you do that. And it's the hardest thing to scale. We even suck at it for ourselves, but it is the best way to build an audience, I think. All right. Number two, and this is my pet peeve.
Number two, and I felt like you should talk about this one because it really is your pet peeve.
It is. I get so annoyed, but when you share, you get what you receive. And so if you're putting negativity out there or you're being overly political, it is 100% your right to do that. And you might think this is my personal page or profile, not my business. In rural Minnesota, people know both. And if take a second, there should be a 24-hour rule. If you want to make an emotional post that is frustration or anger or negativity in any way, wait 24 hours. And if you still think that you want to post it, then go ahead. But I think it's absolutely insane because there are people that own these businesses that are super conservative about what the business will post. Well, we don't want to post that because it might upset someone. I don't know if we should post that because, it's a little bit edgy. But yet on their personal profile, they're like, F the government, this is blah, blah. And I just am blown away but just remember, whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. And if you're negative and emotional and looking like to spread negativity, you'll just keep getting it back. If you can try to be positive and help people, a little bit of emotional complaining is fine. Jump on a private Zoom call with some of your friends and go through that bitching that you need to do. That's fine. That's healthy.
The venting. Vent in private, I would say.
But then go out and try to help people. If you share that positivity, it will come back. You're not building relationships when you're being negative, you're breaking them. And I just think that's not what you want for your business.
Yeah. So the pro tip number 2 in a nutshell was no negativity on your personal page or your business page.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So I hope those help. And Lord knows we could do better ourselves. Everyone could, but now is the time when you can really focus on it and build a structure. And sometimes what we've learned is less is more. If you're making consistent content, but you're not using or distributing it or marketing it well, sometimes less can be more. And that's what we're trying to do. So
we're adopting that model a little bit,
right?
Huh?
That was less than 5 minutes, right, James?
I definitely think so. I
Okay,
mean, the
good.
shelf that fell, it took about 5 minutes.
Yes, that will be shared. If you've listened to this podcast or watched this video and you have not seen the shelf breaking video, please go to our Facebook, our Instagram, and you
You
will
are
then
in for a
find it.
treat. You are
Uh-huh.
in for a treat.
Uh-huh.
Just
Yep,
another
if you
day
want
in
to
the
watch
life.
the
gaming.
ineptitude of Generation Z peeps, then you want to go. Or are you millennial?
I'm a millennial. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm ashamed that now
I'm
I
bringing
am
us
as well.
down. I'm bringing us down a little bit.
Yes, you've lowered the average. All right. Have fun making beer. Everyone have fun out there, and we will see you next time.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Forever Game Podcast as much as we enjoyed creating it. And I have a question for you. Do you like your social media marketing? If you're an individual or a business and you don't love the content you put out, let us help you. We love doing this stuff. We would love to give you advice. We would love to help you execute. Whatever it is you need, we want to be there to help you. Creating content for social media and marketing on social media should be fun. Let us help you do that. If you or someone you know needs help with their social media marketing, we would love, just love, if you sent them our name. We hope to talk to you soon. Stay safe. Peace.